to Naturally Aggressive, episode number 22. Dylan has a lot of topics
shit.
lined up, so jump right
Wait,
into
can you
it.
still hear me?
Yeah.
Punch my phone. Am I still here? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Punch the fucking dog shit on my phone. When he hits things with his paws, they fly. Like he's knocked things out of my hands. It's crazy. Hey, I can tell he's ready to train because his needy vibes become way more pushy, and he'll
Yeah.
start like doing this type of shit. And like this feels like a light arm wrestling match. Like this feels like resistance. That's how strong he is. And he's not really trying. He's just kind of like pulling a little bit, but it feels like a human level of effort. Like it's crazy. But I know he's ready to train when he starts acting up like this, like kind of getting fidgety and like, agitated. But his energy is such a limiting factor. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We had I was really annoyed, not with him, just with how the morning went, but I took him out to train on a long line because he just can't recall. He can't walk on a leash. He can't hold a like he can do. I've had him for almost 2 weeks. He can do nothing. So like, okay, we should probably go train. And we went out in the morning, and he was just dragging, and he couldn't. Like I would call him, and he would move. Like, he just space cadet. Like this is the type of thing you'd expect from Pyrenees, but it was dialed up high because the day before we trained at like 6 p.m. and he had not recovered. So the day before at 6 p.m., we played really hard. We played possession, and he chased me around. And it takes him 24 hours. Like he's now just become like normal. Like he's back to like normal energy. And I woke up this morning. We haven't had a weather segment in a couple episodes. I woke up this morning. I was like, okay, we've got the pod later. I want to get to the gym before that. I'm going to get Aries and Cotton out. We're going to go for long walks. And it was 15 degrees.
And
my
like
car
10
was
feet of
frozen shut. Yeah,
Yep.
just destroyed.
Yep.
I took Aries out and I ran him off leash. And I was like, dude, I can't do this.
I know.
We came inside, we got on the couch, and we fell asleep.
Yeah.
I just slept. I just took a nap with Aries, and then I woke up and I was like, dude, I got to get to the gym.
Oh.
And now we're here. So he's gonna get a light day, but Captain Dipshit here, he's pissed and like ready to go. So we're probably gonna go out to a store. I'm gonna teach him how to walk. My camera American is not in town, but people have been dying for me to show like a step -2 to completion with teaching a dog to walk nice on a leash with just a flat collar if they pull really hard, and he fits the bill. I'm not setting up a tripod. I'm not doing like the Les Stroud Survivor Man thing where you set the tripod up, shoot yourself climbing up the rock wall, then you have to go back down and get the camera. I'm not doing that. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait for another dog to do that with. Yeah. What else is going on? What are we?
Yeah. I'm just complaining about the weather, to be honest. What's going on?
I started with a really nice dog though a few days ago.
Yeah.
That a lot of people are really interested in for good reason, because this is like kind of the stuff that I do that is actually cool. The boar bull. So we can talk about him because there's some interesting things going on.
Yeah.
And like what I want to do with him and all that. What else? It sucks. What sucks is when I start with a dog like him in private lessons, you know who that is bad for? It's bad for this guy, and it's bad for Aries. Because I'm just like, all I'm thinking about is Mowgli, the boar bull. Because these are nice dogs, you know what I mean? Like these are nice dogs. This is a nice dog. Aries is a nice dog. Aries is weird. Like he nipped. I did a first meeting a stranger out in public with a friend, and he nipped her on the sleeve. But it's nothing. It's not like we deliberately put a lot of pressure on him, and he just kind of tweaked for a second, and he was fine. So there's nothing like crazy going on. But the boar bull is seriously out of control, and is really cool. So anybody that hasn't seen, I've posted 2 videos on my Facebook. I I ran an evaluation with him a few days ago. We scheduled a first lesson, and then I just like couldn't take it anymore. So yesterday I texted the owner. I was like, dude, can I just come walk your dog? Because anybody home to give him to me? And they were like, yeah, but can we come? I was like, fuck yeah. So we went out and went for a walk for like a half hour. Um, but he's pretty much like the archetypical dog where I'm like, dude, if you're not using bike gear, how do you even begin to approach this in any constructive way in any normal timetable without putting the owner at risk,
Yeah, because that's
or
the
at
big
least
thing
putting the owner
too.
through a lot of duress?
Yes, yeah, is that if you couldn't handle the dog yourself and trying to coach the owner through that stuff is just
Correct.
like,
There's
holy
no
shit.
way.
Yeah,
There's no fucking way. It can't. He is twice the size of either of them.
right, right.
Um,
Yeah, even
and
just the
they,
logistics alone.
yeah, yeah, and they have some serious, like they've seen him do some bad things, so they're freaked
Yeah,
out.
so background on this dog. I mean, obviously he's like bitey, but what are the
Hmm.
specifics on why they called you?
And I've got one of his hairs up my nose. Ah. Oh man. Um. Oh, hi, baby. I'm okay. He's checking on me. He's checking on me. He's checking on me. So sweet. So yeah, with Mowgli, it was one of those random. I happened to open my DMs, and my DMs are always I need help, or it's something really bad, or it's like look at this person in Guam talking shit about you, like just like weird. I'm just like, okay, so I don't check my DMs, but I happen to check my DMs, and I see the word borbol, and I'm like, yeah, those dogs are really cool. I like those dogs, and I click on that. It's like, oh, she's like in town, like she's not far from me. Um, so he's a 2-year-old borbol named Mowgli, who lives on the corner of a really busy street on the edge of a neighborhood, and he will, if a human being walks down the road in front of the house and he is outside, he will attack them. Um, he will. He's ripped leashes out of hands. He's broken through tie outs, back ties. He's trying to chew through, like he's just like, no, I got to do something about that. And it could be just be a person just walking down the road, but especially if they walk around the side of the house like that way and show up around the corner, it's like it's on. And there was like a situation a year ago with a guy that ended up pulling out a knife to getting ready to defend himself,
Jesus.
and they like tackled the dog and got him away. And then more recently, he broke a back tie, like tore it off of a post and tackled a lady in the street. I'm laughing because she's okay. But he grabbed her by like the back of her neck and the hood that she was wearing, dragged her to the ground, and then started spinning her in circles. Um, and she was ready to like take them to court, but she got a medical exam and no serious injuries, so they she couldn't really like destroy them. Um, luckily everyone's okay. Um, and like if she had tried to destroy them, it's like, dude, what are you gonna say about that? It's like
Yeah, I
you're
mean
a
that
160
was yeah,
pound dog. Like she's
yeah,
just like walking down the road, and a
yeah. Like that
160
would have been
pound
totally
animal comes.
justified for them to get in
Yeah, it's
legal
like
trouble for
I
that.
wouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get me being triggered. I mean, they weren't trying to get me triggered, and by the way, they were very rational about it. They're like, dude, we get it, like that was crazy. But
Yeah.
I feel like people sometimes in the interest of their they supposedly the interest of their dogs, and sort of I think out of shame for how little control they have over the dog, they'll sort of be like, no, everyone else is, got it wrong. It's like, well, dude,
Right.
like
Right.
you can't.
Yes. Yeah. You
Like
can't
I
defend that
kicked
behavior.
I was walking a Rottweiler one time down the road over here. All my neighbors hate me. Um, and he was kind of nasty with other dogs. And it was one of the early days that I was like, it was one of the first walks we were on. And some guy's French bulldog just comes running out of his door and like runs at and it's just a French bulldog, but like you can't be sure that the Rottweiler, when you restrain him, isn't going
That's
to
the
turn on
problem.
you. We
Well,
don't
or
have. or
Or
try to
that
kill the French
that French
bulldog.
that's the thing is, like, take
Right.
one chomp on that thing and you have a dead
Kill it.
dog. Like, it's not.
He grabs it by its back or its neck and shakes it.
Yes.
He could snap it in
Yes, one
half.
time. Yep.
Um, so I like boot the dog, but it wasn't like a Jean-Claude
Yes.
Van Damme,
"I need to get you out of here."
crazy
Yeah.
shit. It was like a stiff leg little pop. And this guy who couldn't be bothered to try to stop the dog from running out, suddenly upon seeing me do that with his dog, shows up and suddenly he can move really fast. He comes
Right.
running down his driveway.
Crazy how that happens.
Oh, don't fucking kick my dog. I'm like, dude, you fucking retard. He
Dog
ran
just
at
saved
me.
its life,
Control the
actually.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, control the dog, dude. And like I just kept walking away because like getting into like standing there and fighting with people is the dumbest shit. Like in any situation, the only intelligent thing to do is leave. And if you have to, run. Um Anybody that has some sort of like superhero, like, oh, I'm gonna stand, I'm gonna do something. You've never seen someone get hit in the face before. And like that's not no, I'm not going to stand around and fight with this guy over his fucking stupid fucking dog. So we
Well,
leave or
especially when you
whatever.
have a dog with you, like, you just
Right.
what are you
Right.
gonna
There's no
do?
way. So
Yeah.
so
There's a time and a
um
place, so that ain't it.
somehow we're gonna end up grappling and we're both gonna fall in the lake, and then my Rottweiler's gonna be running around. Um Suspiciously, the dog is I've never seen the dog loose on the property ever again. So
Funny
it's
how that
like
happens. Yeah.
he had to get it out of his system to scream at me, but then
Yes.
like had to walk home and be like, "Oh, that was my
Yeah.
fault." So it's like whatever. But yeah, with the boar bowl. Oh, and by the way, I get people asking. I do those Instagram Q&As virtually every time. I get people asking, Dylan, what do you do if a dog charges you off leash when you're with a client dog? It's like, guys, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
What do you? I'm starting to get mad because it's like, do you think they're? What do you want me to say to you?
Yeah, there's no magic there. You have to defend
It's
yourself.
like what?
Like,
It's like what? What does the other dog look like? How is he acting? Do I think this is a serious threat? And then I act based on those. Like, but you don't need a dog trainer to tell you that.
no, no.
It's just like do what you have to do to be safe, and just like I'm not going to tell you like the
You're not doing
steps
any
to.
training in that moment. Like, it's
No, no, dude. Like
yeah.
I don't. And by the way, too, like I'm gonna get a little bit of my angst out of the way early in the episode. All right. Um, this could be victim blaming. Probably is at some level, and it probably depends on the region and like the culture of the area that you live in. Where are all of these off leash dogs coming from, guys? You guys that are getting charged constantly by off leash dogs, I'm like, unless it's the same person who just hasn't been talked to, right? Like it's the same neighbor, which I've had neighbors like that. And like I've talked to them and been like, dude, like this is the third time I've had to return your dog who just like walked off of your lawn. Just don't do this again, please. And one lady was like, my mom has dementia. Like she said it to me like it was I'm the one that gave her dementia. It's like, well, no, that's not my problem. It's your fucking problem. And stop letting your dog fucking run into my yard, whatever. But the questions, it sounds like trainers are out there just getting besieged by these gangs of roaming dogs. And I'm like, guys, I'm out with dogs, weather permitting, every single day. I can't tell you the amount, like, how many times have I actually had a dog run up on me when I was with a client dog?
Yeah. I think there's also
Maybe
a
in
level of
the years,
situational
maybe like
awareness.
4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
level of
Yeah.
situational
Two.
awareness where, like, you walk past a yard and you're kind of like, I think this dog might, like, you hear it
Right.
block away, fucking losing its shit. I'm just not walking down that block. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or
Right.
see a dog across the field that's like clearly not under control. It's very different from like a lab who's playing fetch with his owner, probably not going to charge you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, yes, like shit happens, but I also think like some of this stuff is preventable. I mean, from the standpoint of like, okay, your mom has dementia. That really does suck. I hear that, but also then you need to just up your safety and management protocols to not
Right.
have her let the dog out the door. Like, that
Right.
is the reality
Yeah.
of life.
Y- Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
man. Like
yeah.
you think there are considerations with me having a 3 and a 5-year-old
Right.
boy running around my house? Of
Yeah.
course. Like I could I could just like let shit go and be like, "Oh, it's not my fault. It's my kids." It's like, well, yeah, but I know I have
You're
kids,
responsible for your kids, yes. Yeah.
and I know kids are dumb as fuck. So
Yes.
like, I make sure doors are locked. You know what I mean? It's like it's not hard.
I do think, though, there must
And
be places where it's just, like, a lot more normalized for dogs to be, like, out
yeah,
of control off leash, which is interesting because,
yeah,
like, it doesn't really happen here, I will say.
yeah. No, I don't doubt that. Depending on where you're at, it could be seen as more of a norm for dogs to run up and greet.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. The amount of times they get asked this question, I'm just like, dude, like what? Number one, how is this happening? Number two, what do you want? What solution do you want me to have for other people's dogs running at me? I can't do anything about that. Just have to react logically. Um, if it's a big fucking dog and he looks mad, you know what we're doing? We're running away. We're climbing on top of a car. We're fucking like, I don't know. Um, anyways,
I was gonna
so
say too with,
the Borbo,
not to,
oh,
like,
good.
client shame because I don't, like try not to do that, but sometimes it is like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Getting a
Yeah, yeah,
Borbal and letting
yeah.
that happen? Like, what?"
Well, there is I think a very good it's possible to be very reasonable having a discussion about what are people doing and assigning blame in a way that is reasonable
Yeah, and
but
productive towards behavior
but
change.
right,
Yeah.
it doesn't detract from your ability to try to pursue the goals. Um because
But,
I
like,
do think
genuinely
that
curious, like, what was their
how do you
selection
end
for?
up with
Because
this
like,
dog?
clearly it's a well-bred dog, like,
Yeah, yeah. He's a nice dog.
it's doing its job pretty well.
Yeah,
Like, how did
he's a
they
nice dog. But I will say, so let me just wrap up where we like. I actually think I may have finished it all. So he takes down the lady and spins her like a dreidel in the street. They're able to grab him, tackle him, pull him off, and whatever. And now they're just like they take him out to pee really early in the morning when it's still dark. They have to look both ways. They're horrified. They don't have fences. Like the town the zoning, they're waiting for approval on. They've been waiting for approval to build a fence since fucking like JFK was in office. So it's just like a situation where they're living with this explosively reactive giant ass dog that realistically it is a competitive fight to maintain mechanical control over him when he goes off. It's actually a competition, which is wild to really think about. Where it's like I could actually just lose right now, and this dog could be on somebody, and like I just lost. Um, so they get in contact with Gay to Gay Dog Training. We ran an evaluation. I put up a long clip of it on my Facebook. It's pretty cool. Not pretty cool. It's really cool. Actually, I really like him. I don't know what it is. I've been thinking about it a lot. Why, for whatever reason, I just feel like I meet dogs like him, and within 10 seconds, I'm like, dude, I love you so much. And I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you're okay, and like it's gonna be okay. And he's just like going ballistic on me. But I feel like a really I don't know what it is. I feel so sympathetic to them, and I love them so much. Um, and I feel like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but we ended up, he's teeing off on me, and
I think for
I was
me,
probably
there's
out there
a
for like 20
respect
minutes.
of that type of
Yeah.
dog of, like, I see what you're trying to do, and I see that
Uh
level
huh.
of intensity and respect it, and we need to make sure this energy is channeled like,
Yeah.
it gets at that core thing of, like, the nice dogs are the ones who are killed a lot of times, and, like,
Right.
that's
Doing desirable traits, like having
yeah,
desirable traits, the
yeah,
thing that they're supposed to have.
yeah,
And I love the attitude. Like for whatever reason, I just love that first the first reaction he has to seeing me is sub bitch. Like I
yep,
think it's so funny. Like
yep.
it's funny. I mean, it's like an eye roll. Like you're funny. Like how do I want to explain it? It's like
It's kind of like a teenage kid that's, like,
right,
starting to starting to come into their, like, self-identity and feel their own
right.
power as, like, an individual, and it's like, there's something kinda cool about that where it's like, "Oh, like, I
Well,
see you," you know?
And it's like this to me. Yeah, like if you're going with a teenager, it's almost like a hyper competitive jock that likes to like be assertive and get in people's faces, but you can't just default lump that kid in with legitimately malignant bullies that are like out to harm people for their own pleasure and things like that, like sadistic crazy shit. Even though a lot of the presentation can be similar on the
Yeah. Like,
surface.
what's funny is watching that video, immediately I was like, "Oh, he's not that serious." You know?
No, of course
Like
not. Of
like, it
course not.
is, it's danger like, you've, I think you said this in your story that, it definitely is problematic. Like, you can't say
Yeah.
very well could have been sued and probably should have,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be, like, that complex of a fix, which is interesting.
No.
Yeah.
That's another motive for me too is that I see dogs like him and I'm so confident that I think that making huge change like overall pushing the boundaries of how far he can go, that would take a while.
Yes,
But
yeah,
to
he's still borderline, yeah.
drastically impact the quality of life would be very fast. Like
Yeah, like,
very, 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 very
that's a
fast.
dog that you can show him, like, "Hey, we're gonna tell you that's not part of your job," and he's like, "Oh, okay, I
Right.
accept your authority." Like, he's
And look at
not.
all this other shit we can do. You can go outside, you can
Correct,
go see things,
correct.
you can go be out and it's so easy. And like getting this is another reason why I was so amped to start working with them too. And of course, the owners could fail. They could end up pissing me off. They could end up doing something stupid. They could just say I can't do it. You know, what I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
shit just doesn't work out. But
Sorry,
they've
sec did
impressed
they
me.
did they get this dog
Please.
from a breeder?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting. Yeah,
So he's a nice dog. He's a nice
yeah,
dog. There's nothing defective.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
He's just bored and he's doing stuff that his grandpa and great grandpa and all them used to do.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
his ancestors are whispering in
he just
his ear.
has no idea. Yeah, yeah.
Really?
So he th- their their goals are very clearly outlined and they are extremely reasonable. And they impressed me with how they didn't like fall on the ground crying, begging for salvation and redemption, but they were like, we know we did wrong. Like we shouldn't have gotten this dog. Like this is crazy. And we also know what kind of dog he is. We are not expecting him to just love everybody. We are fine with having him in a room when guests come over. Like we don't care about that. But we just know that like we need to be able to take our dog out to potty without it being a risk of someone getting seriously injured and him getting killed. And also, we know we could open his world up and get him out and have more fun, and he would have a better life. And I'm just like, dude, these things are easy. Now, maybe now, not for them are they easy, but for us, for dog trainers, like getting mechanical control and showing a dog a good time is a joke. It's a fucking joke, dude. Like that's not. So my motivation is so intense because I'm like, dude, I know that we could do a few lessons. And if I can get you guys to even be able to walk around your neighborhood, that will make such an impact so fast. You're not going to have to wait for that. Um, so yeah, like very, very clearly outlined reasonable goals. They're not in denial about who or what the dog is. Um, they're apologetic. They know that they've messed up and that they can't go on like this. Like it's just a time bomb. Um, so yeah, it's like, well, let's put on bike gear and just see what the fuck he's gonna do. So let's go meet him. Let's go meet the dog, and that's how I do it. And it was really cool. It's really really cool. So yeah, if you want to watch the video, that video, and then I uh, I ended up taking him for a walk yesterday because I was just bored and I wanted to see him. But yeah, when it comes to like you said, like he's not that serious. That's the thing is like he's clearly not that serious. And this is not to say that everyone needs to be dealing with dogs like this.
Correct. Right, like,
but it
again, that's
is.
the hard part is he can absolutely do damage with not being that serious. I mean, you were talking about it with Cotton, right?
Oh
Is
yeah,
like, it's a
yeah,
very benign motivation at the end of the day. He just wants to go, like, roll the other dog and be like, "Hee hee," like,
right,
"I'm still
right,
boss, bitch."
yep,
But he can do a lot of damage because he's massive, and that's the
yeah,
problem.
and with a boreable, they do have that instinct. So like, I am hitting you to hurt you. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yep.
Like I am trying to harm you. So if with him, it's much more dangerous. Um, because even though the intentions aren't horrible, they are still to let you know, like I'm the dude. Like I can hit you and you can't like I want you to know I'm here. I'm gonna remind you by punching you.
Yeah.
Um, like I'm watching you, like that type of thing. But but it's important to be able to make the distinction. Like if we're really trying to save dogs, keep them in homes and rehabilitate them and make them safe and make people feel safe, we need to be able to identify the difference between a dog that is just out of control, that doesn't really have anything going on, that hasn't had any training, that hasn't had any clarity, versus a dog that maybe he hasn't had those things, but he's also genuinely a threat. Like genuinely is out of control in a way that is not humorous, that's not admirable, that's not cute. I mean, none of this. I don't want to sound like I'm crazy and that I like that this dog's doing this. It's completely unacceptable, and he's going to get in serious trouble for doing this. We're going to talk about this as we go because this was a concern of the owner, and I want to talk about dealing with clients. But there's a serious
The emotions
difference,
aren't that deep for
right?
that
Right.
dog. Yeah.
Like
Whereas a dog like
if you watch the evaluation tape, like you could see it probably in 30
yeah,
seconds. It's like not even
yeah.
30 seconds. But within 15 seconds, like he comes out, hit, and then he's like, I gotta take a piss, hang on. Walks over, just like
Like,
he's got his
Win
back
was
to
way
me and
more committed. Like, Win
oh
was
my
you know what I
God.
mean? Like, that's the difference. Like, that dog versus
She
Win
was like
is like, okay.
stalking me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She was like stalking me.
She
She
was
was
not taking a
watching
break.
me. She was
Yep.
right. She was always tilted, always hyper awareness. This dude will like bang, 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 bang. Roar, 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 roar. What's that? Oh, I'm gonna smell over here and
There's a lot more
we'll go
surface
over here.
level. Like, it's,
Right.
yeah.
Going through motions, a lot of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and if a couple of the bites were, I would say, hard, like pretty hard, but most of them are like glancing. Like if I wasn't wearing gear, I would have been hurt, but not like dying.
Bones
You know what I
broken.
mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like that. So so it's important to give him a chance to interact with him and I don't want to go off on this, but for too long anyways. But the typical evaluation of I'm going to stand in the corner of the room and you're going to have him over there on a short line trying to negatively reinforce a sit, that would make him look fucking insane. That would make him potentially turn on the owner. That would make him give this presentation that would grant the appearance of like a mass murdering war criminal. When if you just let the dog run up, he's probably going to go bang bang and then just go, "What am I doing?" And it's just like, "Hey, let's go for a walk." And again, like very brief personal level, the accusations that I put on the bike gear to make the dogs look worse on purpose is literally the opposite. I'm trying to give them a chance to show me their best self. That's actually what I'm doing. That's how it's supposed to be done. Now, what's unfortunate, something that's really bad about the evaluation that I did, really, really, really bad. And I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off before we even started, and then watching it back because I watched every second of the tape. Watching it back, I got mad again. We had to use this short back tie, and it made him even more agitated. But we had no choice because of safety. Not because of my safety, because if he got off and there was someone walking down the street, he could actually go after them.
This is my question is, like,
But
clearly
yeah, if we had a fenced in yard, we would have had one line on him and wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I would have just had them hold the line or hand me the line. But we had to have their back tie that they've been using for safety on a railing that he's pulling out of the ground. In the event that someone walked by, I couldn't have them have the leash in their hand and have him ditch me to go for them, whoever it was. So we had to use the shorter back tie. And the reason why that's so awful is there were multiple times where he tried to walk away from me and he couldn't. Where it would have been amazing for him to be able to walk away on his own, blow off steam, and then me be able to, come on, buddy, come here, like call him to me.
Short
So I
tie
had to
back
do
ties are
things.
how we put dogs in defensive aggression pretty effectively. It's a tool
Yeah,
for it.
you have nowhere to go. There is no way to blow off the stress other than to confront, like defend yourself. Um,
It's unfortunate.
so we had to. I trust me. I was in my head. I was going through so many options. I was just like, they don't have a tree in the yard. They don't. Everything else that they've tried to hold a back tie has broken.
Wow.
So it's like, oh, we could try slamming a leash in the door. I was like, that's way too ghetto. Like, I can't try. Like if this dog gets loose, I'm gonna have to tackle him, and like, that's gonna be bad. Um, yeah, it sucked. Normally, I just want to be closed into a fence with the dog, and like that's just you know, it's then you don't have to worry. But we dealt with that. We did the deal. Ended up being pretty cool. There was one thing that I didn't do that I wish I had, which is again why it's good to watch footage back. But there's something that the owner said to me that I didn't in the moment take as seriously. Um, but in like some of the clips, you can see him jump up on 2 feet and punch me in the chest and like
Mhm.
push me around. And the second time, excuse me, the second time he did it, the owner was like, "This is exactly what he does to me when I come home from work." And I was like, "Oh, dude, if I could have gone back in time when he jumped up like that and held him and started petting his neck, I think that would have totally blown his mind. I think that would have totally blown his fucking socks off. Like, what the like, that's crazy. Like, I think that I probably could have gotten like 3 sessions of rapport building in one moment if I had met him in that way, and I didn't register it on, like, in the moment. Um, but it's okay because, again, I got bored and I was like, "Dude, I wanna walk Mowgli." And we met up yesterday and we ended up becoming pretty tight. Like, he's at a point with me now where he, like, doesn't want to admit how interested he is in me, but he's rolling over on his back. I'm giving him belly rubs. Like, it's cool. He teed off on me a little bit, but I'm already putting my foot down, being like, dude, stop. Um, because this is a dog where prediction errors are not, like, extinction is not a valid strategy with him too. Like, that's another way. Like, the things that some of the things that I like to do would just not be effective because he doesn't have some like wacko
It's not a
phobia
misconception.
dysfunction.
Yeah.
No, he's just having fun.
Yes.
And we so like I run the evaluation, I can feel, I'm like, I think it's that way.
Mhm.
Because like he's taking breaks, I'm loving on him, and he's like starting to trust me, and then he would hit me again. And I'm talking to them the whole time, and she's like, he actually does that with some people he already likes too, is that he'll be totally cool, and every once in a while he'll just nip them. It's like, yeah, he's just fucking around. Like, this isn't like some weird dysfunctional thing. It's not like that dog Ollie, where when I was no selling bites, it blew his fucking mind. He couldn't believe it. He was stunned. This dog is just like, okay, you're not going anywhere. I guess we can hang out, and I'll just keep hitting you every once in a while. So on the walk, I let him do his thing a couple times, but I'm verbally kind of being like, dude, come on, come on, come on, come on. It kind of sounds like I'm complaining to him, and then because I kind of wanted to see if the enjoyment of being out on a walk, because he doesn't get to do that. I wanted to see if he would start choosing that naturally. And he was, but he was coming back and giving me like a little sack tap every once in a while, just be like, "What's up?" So I had to get on him and be like, "Dude, stop." And I think that our lessons tomorrow. I think I'm gonna light him up, um, out the door. So like when he comes out, he's gonna go unga bunga, try to bite me. I think I'm gonna put my foot down and be like, dude, like I might try to get him to like seriously tap out of it and be like, yo, sorry. I haven't. It'll be. I have to think about it, but that's where I think we're gonna go. We'll see.
Yes.
But
So getting in serious trouble, like you mentioned that the owner was having a hard time with that. Talk about that.
yeah, this was so cool because I called in my camera individual is out of town, so I called in Agent Sandy to come record, and she's a psycho. Like she just wants to be around these dogs and see these dogs. In her words, this is better than drugs. I don't know what drugs she's taken, but that's what she said. So she was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." And I got to talk to her about this afterwards, but before we're doing like a pregame before they bring the dog out. It's like let's just talk before we get Mowgli out and talk about what we're gonna do and all that. And the owner voiced some concern, and she basically was like, "Hey, I'm worried that if we allow him to continue biting, that it's bad because I feel like he needs to know that's wrong." And I need to be able to tell him that it's wrong. He needs to be able to know that it's wrong. So, what's interesting about that, there's a lot that's interesting about it. Number one, dog owners don't owe you their belief out of the gate. They do not. They don't, like, they have the right in this arrangement, in my opinion, to ask questions and to be skeptical. Now, if they're so skeptical that they're openly contradicting you constantly, then it's like, dude, why did you even call me?
Yeah,
You know what I
they have
mean?
to at least try to put in
Right.
effort.
Or
Yeah.
like, hey, you don't have to believe me, but at least play ball with me for like a couple
Correct.
lessons and see what
Correct.
happens.
Yes. Yes. Like
But
let me
she
run my
wasn't.
experiment and then once you see the
Yeah.
results, you can make a decision. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, shit's probably not going to get worse than it is now. Let me do
Right.
my thing, and we can talk about it after. Um, but she wasn't being that intense, but she was worried that I may be going down a really permissive hands-off route because of how I ran the evaluation. Right. Just keep in mind at the evaluation, we're not like training. It's more like I'm poking and prodding and interacting with him and seeing like, show me who you are, that type of thing, right? I asserted myself a little bit, but it wasn't to start training. It was for me to see like, yeah, you actually are kind of compliant. Like you are willing to listen, even though you're just hitting me. So like, to me, that says that there's not a lot personal happening here. You're just kind of a retard. So it's important. But anyways, this is interesting because immediately before we even go out on our first walk, the client, I know that I need to do a little work here to make sure that she's game for this. I don't want to leave her doubting what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So this is where curating the message based on the concerns of the individual client is really important. Now, what's interesting about this one is this is actually the opposite of what you usually see, where the concern people will have is, I don't want to make my dog sad. That's probably most people listening. If you're a trainer, you're used to hearing that. This was the opposite, where she was like, dude, like I I don't know about this. I don't need to lie to assuage her concerns. I can just move forward some concepts that I normally am going to use already and bring them to the forefront to show her, no, we're on the same side on that. Like, I agree. And that is absolutely something that's going to happen. That's going to be part of the picture. It has to be. Whereas someone that's like, oh, I feel like he's confused and he's bored and all these things. It's like, well, there we're going to talk a lot about play and fulfillment and going out and enjoying the world. It's like that. all of these things matter, and I'm going to do all these things, but the client in that moment needed to hear me say, "Nah, dude, like at some point soon, we're gonna put our foot down and be like, you can't fucking do this shit anymore, dude. Like physically, we are going to make it clear if you do that, something bad happens to you." And she was like, "Okay, cool. I agree." It's like, yeah. And at that point on, her buy-in tripled. Like bang, like that. And I didn't have to give a false front or change what we were doing. It's just making it more clear where I stand on that issue that matters to her. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an interesting because usually it's the opposite. Usually people have to try to talk the client into being okay with getting on the dog. This lady was like, "No, like I feel like he needs this." It's like, yeah, he does, 100%.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it's also interesting too how clients' instincts can be very, very correct. Like if you actually
Right.
listen to them. Like I just got off the phone with someone who basically just has a more intense dog than she expected to get. And she was saying some things where I'm like, oh yeah, you get it. Like your instinct is in the right direction. Because she had gotten some advice from a different trainer and she was like, oh, it didn't really make sense to me because of this. And I was like, yep, like you got it. Like you're saying it a little bit differently. But it's interesting to see when people aren't sort of stuck in the sort of like brain rot of the dog world, that it can sometimes be that they actually are very, very intelligent. Like some things you can't like
Yeah.
can't take clients seriously at all. But sometimes it is like, yep, like it's cool to watch it. But
I
yeah.
think there's something to be said for the shared animal learning experience. Like
Yes.
we know how we learn, we know
Yes.
how, and dogs are emotionally intelligent, right? They're obviously not nearly as smart as us, but there's just like a rational common sense
Yes.
to
Yeah.
like, hey, dude, like I
And that's what's
know that this
interesting about
dog
it
is
is realizing like, oh,
right,
this is actually logical and common sense. Like I didn't have to like push you there or sell
right,
you on that concept. You came to that conclusion based on what you were seeing. And like that's kind of validating in a way, which is
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, and it's they just don't know how to do it.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean? They're just like I don't know.
I understand the
Like I
concept, but
know,
not the implementation. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's where dog training happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can come up with probably 10 different ways we could put our foot down and make it happen, and we'll try a few different things. I don't think it's going to take a lot with this guy, but we'll see. But yeah, it's important to be able to. Oh man, I could tie this into a Shikashio post because he gave one of the great cope. Did you see it?
Yeah.
This is
Unfortunately.
one of the great copes of the dog training world, at least recent memory. You guys can look it up if you want, but the short version is, and I'm gonna represent it accurately. The short version is there's this new trend of people demanding that dog trainers prove their dog training. But what you don't understand with behavioral rehab is how much happens that doesn't involve dog training. What about validating the client's emotions and navigating them emotionally through this tough time? And, it's just like, dude, oh my God. So, so it's this zero sum game, either or infantile bullshit where it's like balance trainers are focusing on training the dogs, which means they can't be focusing on the client. Well, Mikey, um, it's possible to think about two things at once. You know what I'm saying? So this is just an example of one balance trainer. But when I'm with Mowgli and his owners, and I'm coming up with my game plan about what we're going to do, I can also have an intelligent discussion about where the owner is coming from and where her head is at and what she feels and why. Like we can do all those things, and I do all the time. That that idea that balance training is just this like single-minded mechanical brute It's just so stupid. And this is the guy that's going around saying we all need to be thoughtful and approving and accepting of each other, and we're all in this together. It's like, well, no, you're a you know you're a demonetized. um, God, but it's isn't it crazy to think that at least it is for me. It's like just a few years ago, I'm just like a no name nobody, and now I'm directly making Michael Shikashio post things that embarrass himself.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's
Yeah,
kind of funny.
yeah,
Um, I heard he locked the comments on that post. I wouldn't know because I'm. By the way, I made him post that from behind a block because he has me blocked. So I'm from beyond the grave. Um, but yeah. Anyways, that's
yeah. I think that is the frustrating part. Seeing posts like that is, again, it's a false dichotomy, and it's frustrating that people sort of fall for that language, that like co-opted sort of like Sarah
therapy speak.
yeah, language
Mhm.
where it's like it's not like validating your emotional experience is also not where it ends. Like we still have to fix your problem. Like we can validate that this is really hard for you, and I can have a ton of empathy for that, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let you just sit in that forever either. Like, I can validate that emotional experience, but then also still go, hey, let's see if we can change that emotional experience. Like those are not mutually exclusive. But I think people get stuck in just like that trap of like the thinking that validating an emotion means that you have to treat it as if it's legitimate, right? But like emotion is information that we can then use to move forward. It doesn't need to be any more or less than that. Um, He's gonna start barking again. But yeah, like that's kind of the frustrating part where it's like he's saying all the right things. And then this is like exactly the same in the human side of things where it's like use the buzzwords, use the catchphrases, and people are like, oh, that sounds correct. Like this happened with boundaries. And like I fell into the trap where it's like boundaries became a way to try to control other people's actions. As like now the whole point is that you're saying something that you are going to do. Like you are going to respond to a certain way. But the point is to let go of controlling other people's actions. And people got that really backwards, where they're like, oh, I'm going to set a boundary about your behavior. But it was, ouch, it was couched in the language of boundary, but it was actually an ultimatum. And it's like, okay, like that's not like the ultimatum might be useful, but that isn't the same thing. And that sort of starts to happen with these types of things where it's like, yeah, I'm just kind of repeating myself, right? But like, we don't have to just get stuck there. And just because you use the right words doesn't mean that you're utilizing those concepts correctly.
Yeah, we used to call this wallowing,
Yeah.
uh, where you just are like, I've accepted that this is really bad, and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be like, I'm just gonna live in it. Except now, guys like Michael,
Well, that's where I get frustrated,
they
right? Because it's like, that's what I mean by like people misuse that idea of validating emotions because they do then just let them wallow, right? Like,
right, right,
like the whole point of validating the emotion is to sort of get people to understand that they can feel it and process it and let it happen and then move on. Like that's the point.
right.
The point is not to sit stuck in that emotion. The point is to feel it, not suppress it, and then move on. But like
I
move
would
on,
love to
you
like
know?
all I can feel is like walking into a room where he's like sitting across from a client holding their hands and like everyone's crying and he's telling them it's okay. And I just like I walk in, I empty his pockets, I take his phone and his wallet and I like throw them out of a window and just go, "Hey, go take care of that. We're gonna train some dogs." It's just like somebody do something. Like what if we just like fix the problems? He clearly is not in his ilk. By the way, they all believe
Sorry, not to
this.
cut you off, but like that sadness,
They
that
all
grief
do.
is telling you to do something, right? Like anger,
Right.
irritability, all of
Right.
those emotions are your body telling you that we need to change our environment. Like it is a reaction
Right.
to the environment. Sometimes you can't control it, and like that's where you do have to just accept it. But like again, that's where people get to the point of like, oh, just accept everything. And it's like, no, you don't. Like
Right.
you can use that information to go do something about it. This like this idea of wholesale acceptance is not, it's not meant to immobilize you. It's meant to actually allow you to move forward without getting so bogged down. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm explaining this very badly, but yeah,
Well,
like
it's supposed to be like escape training. It's like, yo, this
yes, it's
negative
uncomfortable to do
emotion
something. Yes. Yeah.
needs to motivate me to move.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like
Yeah.
it's very clear. It's extremely clear, guys. Like I don't. Do I want to attack the audience? I don't think I do, because I think that we're mostly like-minded people. It's so frustrating for me that people just can't obviously see that this is how these people operate. Like this is like their fundamental operating reality. And the way that they get by is making you all believe that there's something magic behind the curtain taking place. They actually, Michael Shikashio goes out and manipulates weak, confused, and afraid people into being happier being weak, confused, and afraid.
And
That
I
is
think
what
what's
he does.
so frustrating and slimy feeling about it, right? Is it is preying on a very particular type of person that has not had their emotions validated, has had people bully them, has had people treat them really badly. And someone comes along with charisma and empathy and very pro social traits and uses them to keep you stuck. Like that's
Yeah.
what's maddening to me is it's like it's not, yeah, those two things are not mutually exclusive. You can help people that are feeling insecure, feeling a little bit weak, feeling a little bit bad about their situation. You can be truthful with them. Well, exactly like you were talking about with your client, you can be truthful with them without being mean about it, while also
Yeah.
validating their emotions, while also pushing that. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
so that's the frustrating part to me is like the people that are susceptible to this type of stuff. And again, like having been there, speaking from experience, it's really, really easy to fall into that trap because you are looking for someone to sort of glom onto in that way. And then you wake up a couple of years later and you're like, oh, fuck, like this actually kept me really, really stuck. And
Hmm.
it's super unfortunate. And then the dogs pay the price. They're as dogs. Yeah.
And it's not. It's just we all know. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
All of their followers know. All of them know.
I think like that's the hard part though, is that I think there are people that are sort of stuck in that trap that genuinely can't. Yeah. Like I think some of the comments you get, like you sort of make fun of that post and people then interpret that as like, oh, he's saying that you need to be mean to client, right? And like that's, I'm kind of jumping topics a little bit, but it's like the duh to you is that like of course you can do both, but people genuinely don't think that you can. Like that's
It's
the,
insane. It's insane to me. Like that's such a that's so stupid that you would think that because you're good at training dogs and you focus on training dogs that you become like a sociopath
yeah.
to the people that are giving you money. And it's the single-minded retardation too, where there's that assumption that we like nobody changes their behavior based on the person they're interacting with. So like this lady who turned out to be a huge Robert Cabral fan, not a surprise. She comments that that crate is way too small and it's filthy on one of my posts. And I said back, shut up, bitch, right? And there's a thought from some people that, like a lot of people, that that must be how Dylan interacts with his clients. She said someone that's willing to talk to one woman like that will talk to all women like that, which is something I've heard before. And it's not just women, like that just happened to be the sort of like the costume that it's wearing in that moment, but that concept that like, oh, he's not professional and like you think I'm going over to Mowgli's house and I'm kicking the fucking door down and I'm just screaming at people like you're you're out of your fucking mind. You probably, if you believe that, you want to believe that because you are trembling in front of the face of something that's just superior in every way. Like balance training is just so superior that you have to just make up these fucking weirdo fantasies about us being these brutish dude bra like aggressive mean fuckers. It's like, dude, you guys, I'll tell you, actually balance trainers are the most compassionate because we try to fix people's problems. That's why we're the most compassionate, and it's not even a fucking discussion. So a guy like Michael Shikashio, um, it seems incongruent on a surface level, or it seems extreme when I say that I hate him about as bad as I ever thought I could hate a human being, because he's this meek, cowardly, little nice guy. But it's like, what is he actually doing? What is he inflicting upon the world? I don't care about presentation, dude. Like that doesn't fucking mean that. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not. What if his hands rot? Like what is he doing? And it's just pure poison everywhere. It's pure poison. What he represents, the complacency, the manipulation, the self-righteousness, the romanticizing of failure and suffering, and ultimately the death. That is pure evil. And people have just kind of either clapped or they've been, oh, that's little Mikey, he's kind of a fucking retard. Like everyone knows he's a fucking retard, but he's really nice and he pats me on the back and he says that actually everybody has a point. It's like, no, man, that guy is pure evil. Um, and the clock's ticking, Mikey. The clock is ticking. But back to Mowgli, unless you had more you wanted to talk about on that, because that pretty much to me summarizes how I feel about that post. Like, okay, last thing, and I do kind of want to get your reaction. I kind of think I know what you're going to say. I think that yet again, my stance and my performance is validated.
How do you mean? In what way?
I'm so aggressive and so belligerent
Oh, yes.
and so relentless that they can't help but just start screaming and saying the truth accidentally, trying to defend themselves. It's like their defense is to accidentally be honest. And then it's like, whoa, so this guy, yeah, like you're saying that this guy is like crazy and out of control, and you just said that you don't believe in dog training. That you're going to defend yourself and your practice by saying you don't believe in dog training? Really? That's what you're going to do? You're going to say that you're basically an amateur uh, psychotherapist
Yeah.
to try to defend your dog training practice? That's the best you've got
Yeah.
when you're
Oh,
saying that
that's the other thing
obviously
I was
this
gonna
guy's
say
the
too is
problem.
like what's frustrating. I think I forget if it was you that made the comment or one of your someone on your page, but it was like if what you're doing is helping people to deal with the emotional fallout of this situation, that's one thing, and call yourself that. Like maybe we do need a space where people get therapy for their PTSD from their dog grabbing somebody by the hoodie and dragging them down the street. Like maybe
Yeah,
that
that's
is
called
something we
therapy.
need.
That's
Exactly.
we have those already.
Right, right.
People go to
But
school for that.
that's very different from dog trait. And like that to me is very much a thing of like stay in your lane. Like that's not to say that
100%.
you can't help people, but it's not the umbrella that you are presenting yourself under is a misrepresentation and a manipulation. And that's
Imagine imagine this, Kim. Imagine this. Your son is failing algebra and you hire a tutor. And you find out 2 months later that the tutor has actually been taking your time and your son's money to make him feel better about getting C minuses. And now he's not
and
like
what's
crying about it anymore. It's
yeah.
like, dude, but that's what he's doing. And except it's living things that are on the line.
And what's also super frustrating is like, again, like that's bad therapy. Like to make him feel better about
Right.
getting C minuses is horrible therapy. Like that's
Right.
not
Right. It wouldn't even be a good it wouldn't but you're
correct.
also a tutor. You're also a math tutor.
Correct.
You are
Right.
calling
Like it's
yourself a
even
math
worse.
tutor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Because you're
On
calling
two
yourself a
different
math tutor
planes.
while
It's
you do
so
that.
bad. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Like the
So
way
it would
that
be one
you
thing.
help people to feel empowered and to feel better is to give them real life tools to change their situation. Like that's
Imagine for a second that your son was having debilitating anxiety over his grades to a level where it's not normal. And he goes to see a therapist for that. That therapist would not then claim on the internet to an audience of hundreds of thousands that they are a math tutor. That would be flagrantly destructive. That would be insanity. And then they're selling a math tutoring program. That's what he's doing, dude. That's what this fucking guy has been able to not only get away with, but profit from. Like that's he knows it. He knows it.
and that's the other like again last little thing. He keeps saying he's not going to engage in this debate and he's not going to show videos. And yet he continues to engage in this debate. So it's like, and I completely understand the irony of this statement as we're talking about it on this podcast. But it is kind of like, dude, just like if you want to actually pull the ace out, like the ace up your sleeve that you're acting like you have, show people the videos. Like it's just it's that weird high horse of like, I'm not going to engage in this discussion and I won't respond to people that are like putting out this energy. I'm not going to stoop to that level. And yet you're engaging in it, but just not like continuing to skirt around the issue. Like, again, I'm not saying this very well at all, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, just pick a side, dude. Like, either don't engage in it at all, just ignore it. That's like, that's a power move. Like, you can do that, just ignore it. Or if you're going to engage in this discussion, like, win the battle. Like, those are your two
Yeah.
options, you know? Like, you can't engage in it and then go, I could win this battle, but I'm choosing not to. Like that's not the
So what?
power move that you
Well,
think it is.
but that's not even what's happened. Well, I mean, no. So you're right about like the part where I'm trying to think of an analogy for it too, where someone's just like, I don't want to play the game, but they keep like putting one foot onto the field and being like,
Yes.
"You all suck, I'm better," and then running away. It's like, dude, you could just come play.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could just come play. What's the motivation for not showing the work?
Well,
What is
oh,
it?
you asking me? There isn't any.
Right. There's no work.
Yeah.
There is no work. There is no magic behind the curtain. There's no wizard. There's no ancient arcane secrets and spells and incantations. The guy can't train dogs. None of them can train dogs. None of them are rehabilitating anything. I've had multiple people over the course of, I mean, since I started dogging on him, but especially recently, people reaching out to me that have been to his conferences, that have gone through his school. Supposedly behind the paywall, there's all this crazy gold, and you just have to give him the $685 or whatever. And like, people are like, dude, it's dogs behind gates, and it's dogs with muzzles, and no one's interacting with the dogs. It's all differential reinforcement, indirect, whatever. It's all dancing around these dogs, and no one fixes anything. That's why they're not showing it. It's like it's because it's really bad, and it's like one person was like really pissed because she was just like, I know that the people that are paying for this, like I did, they know that it's wrong.
Mm.
And like there are some people that still will try to con you into paying for it because that's how she got lumped into it. She heard people saying, "Oh, this is like great," and then she watches. It's like, dude, it's Michael wearing a GoPro on his chest with a dog on the other side of a gate, and he's dropping food to him. So there's no work to show, and the crazy thing is too, and this is sort of like the buried lead on all of this, is that if and when one of these sociopaths actually does start showing work, then we can actually compete. That
Yes.
isn't like a oh, we did it, we won. That's like the bare minimum to be able to talk.
Like,
Now
that's
we
what I
compare
mean. Like,
quality.
if you're gonna step on the playing field, step on the playing field. If you're not,
Right.
don't.
Lay it
You don't
out.
have to.
Lay it out, dude.
Yeah.
And I will say that there's going to be, when it inevitably happens, there's going to be some number of balanced people that are going to be like, you know what, you got to respect that. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm not going to give you respect for showing the thing that you've refused to show for like 30 fucking years. That supposedly you are self-described one of the best in the world at it. That you've been fleecing people by the thousands for piles of dead dogs. I'm not going to give you any respect for finally I've got a gun to your head and you have to just throw out some garbage. I'm not gonna fucking that's no, it's too late for respect. It's just that finally we'll be able to see who's better. That's the point. It's like, oh my God. And like that was like another one of the Susan Garrett quotes that's just like crazy work, where she was like, um, so I show some case footage. I show some rehabilitation. Then what? Then what?
And we talk.
Then we talk and we try to get better at training dogs. She's the one spamming hashtag be curious all the time. Be curious for what? Aren't we supposed to be trying to get better at training dogs? So I show my methods that are the best in the world, that none of you could even begin to comprehend, that are so good you wouldn't even understand what's going on. But how would that benefit anybody? How would that be cool for me to reveal my ancient secrets? It's like you can't possibly. I said this. I want to move on, but I've said this
Yeah.
before, guys. In any other place in your life, if anyone acted 5% as slimy, we would all be like, that dude's lying. He's hiding something, or he's trying to sell me garbage, or something.
And the
Like
defense
there's
where,
no.
yeah,
Ugh.
the defense where it's like, oh, other industries don't have to show their work. Like, the what did he use before? Like the analogy of like doctors and whatever. But it's like, but there's licensing.
Right.
There's a rigorous process to enter the industries where we don't demand people show their work, right? Like, if you have gotten through med school and maintained a medical license and not gotten your ass sued for malpractice to the point where you've been shut down, like that, those are the checks and balances, not the,
Right.
oh, look at the surgery that I performed. Like, we don't need that because we have checks and balances elsewhere. We don't have a regulated industry in the dog industry. So the only thing we have is showing your personal portfolio. It's like the very
And
apples
there's
to
repercussions.
oranges.
There's severe
Correct.
repercussions for
Correct.
being a liar.
There,
Dude,
yes, people are
a
kept
doctor
in
miss
line by the threat of legal ramification.
a doctor that near fatally misdiagnosed me when I was 5 years old quit being a doctor
Yep.
and moved to another town.
Yep.
He like was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like it's over. Dog trainers do that. And then everyone's just, oh, it's their way. And like dude, I I hate them so bad. And like the thing everyone was like laughing their asses off at was seeing Cabral being like, hell yeah, brother, to Shikashio. It's like, dude,
That's funny. I didn't see that.
it's like you couldn't imagine like worse people for dogs. Like dogs just don't matter to them. They don't cross their minds for like a second. Like not even for a second. It's unbelievable. It's fucking unbelievable. I'm getting to the point where if you don't hate them, I hate you too. Like I'm actually getting more radical. I'm being serious. I'm
No,
being
I know
serious.
you are.
I'm being completely serious. It's like I can't understand how you could rationalize. It's like when Ivan was talking to Bill Church about how dangerous um like um speaking events and like those types of seminars and like the IACP and stuff like that, how dangerous it can be because there's a default validation that's given to someone when they are put on a stage where some number of new trainers that just don't know any better. And I remember being like this.
Yes.
I
There's an
remember
implicit
seeing the
authority.
posters.
That's
Right.
that's the checks and balances like that. Ooh, yeah. Back to the doctor analogy, right? Like we assume that the ICP is only putting up dog trainers who have
Right.
like they are the ones that are implicitly regulating the industry and it should
Correct.
be better. So,
Should
like,
be way
how
better.
should you know
Right.
any better if you see this person on a stage and you're like, oh, this organization says that they're the premier in the world, support whatever balance training, and they're putting this on, so it must be good. Like, that is a fairly rational conclusion to come to as a new trainer.
It's pretty much the only rational conclusion to
Yep.
come to if you're a new trainer.
Yep.
Um, it's like this is the premier organization for balance training. Look, they've got Denise Fenzi as the keynote speaker and Robert Cabral as the keynote speaker. It's like, and those are two of the most fraudulent dog trainers active in the world that have good reputations for literally no reason. Like actual frauds, like straight up pathological liars that can't train dogs. So it is dangerous to have sort of this even like a milk toast sort of like fence sitter energy to it where you're like, oh, he's just kind of doing his thing and I'm doing my. No, I don't think that's good enough, man. Like I really don't. I think it needs to be. They're like, no, like we hate that guy. He's a fucking loser. Like he's horrible to people. He's horrible to dogs. He's a hack. How much money has he had being terrible? Made being terrible like that. You wouldn't like. We're supposed to hate evil wealthy people, dude. Like we're supposed to hate them, dude. It's like, how did you get there? What did you do? Clearly, he is not a dog trainer. So what did he do? He tells you what he does. That post tells you. Okay, so how many, dude? It like it even gets worse. It's like the dog training, like he has his courses and stuff. It's not hard to imagine a scenario. It's like, well, I didn't have enough. I was saving up for TWC, so I just bought his course, and maybe I decided to pursue that for 2 years. It's like, how many dogs did I just trash for 2 years? How long did I walk down the road where I learned nothing and I ruined dogs and I wasted 2 years of progress because I saw that he has a speaking tour. He goes on a cruise ship in the Bahamas talking to trainers and look, he got a shout out by this guy who has never seen him train a dog before, but they're friends because they got dinner at a banquet one time.
That happens a lot too. Yep.
And it's like, oh, he's a good trainer. This is another Ivan one where he was just like, it feels like everyone's stuck in this like, yeah, he's a great trainer. Oh, she's a great trainer. And yeah, I'm a great trainer. Oh, you think I'm a great trainer? Thank you. I think you're a great trainer. It's like none of you have ever seen the other do anything with dogs. You're just saying that because you're perceiving it as socially beneficial or nice. But there's a value judgment there that goes beyond just I like hanging out with this guy or I want his followers to like me. Uh, I didn't even want to do this. It's just it's so it feels like an obligation.
I mean,
to talk about it. Like it does
the thing
because it,
is, like, I have to, own both sides of this. Like, we are engaging in this game, so it's like you kind of do have to
but
pick a
you have to
side, sign
win
it
it.
or don't. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah, no, no, no. Anybody, like, I'm totally cool. Like, if people want to be like, oh, well, I'm gonna train dogs to keep them, dude. Totally, I get
yeah,
it. But
yeah.
what I'm saying is, if you are actively participating in the
Correct,
dog
correct.
training conversation
Yes,
and you are being irrationally tolerant of horrible people, then you're doing something wrong.
yes. Yeah, and, like,
Irrationally
unfortunately,
tolerant.
we have engaged with this, and so we kind of have to, like, continue to engage with it because it's like
Yeah. No, it's
unfortunately, these are the clarifications that do need to be made, is people are gonna read Michael's post and be like, "Oh, Dylan is saying that paying attention to clients' emotions is bad," and it's like, "That's
yeah,
not
yeah.
no, that's not
That's
the
exactly what
takeaway."
some people are certainly going to take that away. 100%.
Yeah. So, like, that's kind of the
Um,
TLDR of all of this is that, yeah, it's the straw man, just dickhead balance trainer that's mean to everybody and everything, and it was just going around smashing dogs in the head and smashing clients in the head, and it's like, that's not that's not what's actually happening.
it's just not what we do. But don't forget, be curious, and we're all on the same team. We need to come together. It's truly like it's gross. It's double speak
It's just
from, it's like Orwell
disingenuous.
double
It's
speak.
extremely
Well,
yeah.
no, it's actual like pieces war. Like it's actually like that insane.
Yes.
It's the most bigoted, single-minded, fraudulent, duplicitous people preaching honesty and friendship
Yep.
and accept. It's just nuts. Anyways, imagine Michael gets the call for Mowgli. Think about that. Like what would happen? He wouldn't be caught in the same area code as that dog. What would he even, I can't even imagine what he would say to them. Oh, man, there's so many funny things I would do to that guy if it didn't cost money to get to him. I would love to pose as a prospective client and just do a phone call with him. Oh, that'd be so good. But he must have people sign NDAs. Like that must be why people don't talk.
Mm,
Um,
I wonder.
yeah, yeah, he sucks. Um, he's just one. He's just one head of the Hydra. It's like, dude. Um, so back to Boerboel for a second. On the client's emotions, okay.
Yes.
One of the things that's very important if you're doing private, because I've said before, I don't like doing private lessons in behavioral cases. Like I often despise it, and with extreme thing, I will never do them again. Like I'm just going to take the dog. This dog is not that way. At least it doesn't appear. But one of the things that you need to make sure if you're going to have clients start to do hands-on work when you're not there, you need to create an atmosphere where they are very comfortable telling you when they're afraid.
Yep.
Uh, that is and being very clear about what afraid means. It may seem like I'm splitting hairs, but like I'll really like again, this is not we're not on planet should kill yourself, yo. We're here on Earth where yeah, like I'm making a strategy for the dog, but I'm also acknowledging that this all relies on the client's ability to feel comfortable doing things that we need to do. So I'll be clear with them like, hey, it's totally like being anxious is just rational at this point with the things that you've had to go through. But I
1000%.
need you to be very clear with me that if I give you something like, hey, I'm very confident you can handle this. I know you can walk around the neighborhood now. If you get halfway through your first walk and you feel anxious, that's normal. But if you are genuinely afraid for your safety or other people's safety or the dog's safety, you go home and you tell me. And you can try, totally up to your own discretion, your own comfort. You can go for it again and give it another spin and see what you think. I'm going to demand that they walk together, that no one right now is out alone with the dog, and they should have 2 lines. Um, but we'll practice that tomorrow for the first time. But if they say to me, Dylan, like, we just honestly are paralyzed, then I'll take him.
Mhm.
I'll just take him. I'll do that.
Yep.
Like, selfishly, I would love that. But I'll take him for a month and I'll just train the basics. And then go home, and you will still be afraid, but the dog will be waiting for you to catch up. You know what I'm saying? There's something
Yeah,
to
and
be
I think
said,
too,
you
like
know.
that fear can even be sort of irrational on their part, and that's okay. Like you still have to find
Mhm.
something. And maybe it's that you help them confront that irrational fear in some cases, like train the dog and then get the client to catch up by setting up corrective emotional experiences with the dog and so on and so forth. But we can't just push them through that. You can't just be like, all right, suck it up. Like that doesn't work with dogs, doesn't work with people either. And our job is to figure out how to find a solution. Like you said, find a solution that they are actually going to implement. Because if they don't, then it's like, could be the best plan in the world, but if you don't do it, it doesn't fucking matter. It's not going to
Well,
work.
think about how many mistakes a client makes when they're of sound mind. It's
Yes.
constant. They're fucking everything up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there's
Those
already
piles of
going to
fear on
be,
top of it. Yeah. Yeah.
now make them
It's not
afraid,
good. Yep.
and they're going to be popping leashes and saying crazy shit, and the dog's going to be looking at them like, what the fuck, like, what are you doing? They're going to almost manifest into reality a bad
Yes.
moment. Um, and then it's like, no, they feel defeated, and should we even be training? And it's like, okay. Then I just drive over and I grab the dog and I'm like, watch. And I like, because that's what I would do, that type of thing. It's like, I need to prove to you again that he can do it, right? But also the easiest thing would just be, okay, we do like a hybrid program. I just take him in a board and train. So there's something to be said. Like, I know sort of the saying, I feel like this was way more of a prevalent concept before, like really when I was coming up. You would hear people all the time talking about how actually private lessons are the only way to do behavioral case training, because the owner has to be there because the owner created the problems.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear that? Have you ever heard
Yeah.
anybody say
That
that?
does ring a bell now. Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. It did used to be a lot more.
I feel like people used to say that constant, and I'm
Yeah.
not necessarily saying there's zero truth to it, by the way. That's not what I said.
Correct. But yeah,
Um,
people would very much be anti-board and train in those situations. Like it was a little more
I
militant
I
of
went
a
through that. You
opinion.
remember
Yeah.
remember you said, well, the way that you got me to even do this show to begin with was, you said sometimes you say things to particular audiences that get perceived in a, like, whatever
Yep.
unintended way.
Yep.
I actually, for a while, I went through that, like, no, the owner has to be there for every second of every moment of training if the dogs react, whatever. And that, I have found that, at least for me personally, to not even be remotely close to being true. Um, because there's a difference between a client working with, like, when you've got a dog that's out of control that also has no training, it's not like, you're the work that you're telling the client to do is like the mechanical shit. And by the way, good things happen when you're doing the mechanics. Good behavioral things happen for sure. Don't get me wrong on that, but there's a difference, especially with a dog this big, Mowgli. Um, the I just know that if I can do, how much fun would we have? You know what I mean? And like, it wouldn't be work. It wouldn't be fucking work, dude. And I could get all of that done. They don't even have to think about it. He goes home. They're still afraid. He still has a suboptimal view of their authority and all those types of things, but he's a trained dog.
Correct. It's almost
Like,
like you don't try to get somebody off of being addicted to drugs in the same environment, right? Like the whole thing is like
right.
we need to pull them out of this situation, teach them skills, give them tools in a very controlled environment, and
Right.
then put them back in the difficult environment. Like
Where you
that's
minimize the risk to them and everyone around
correct.
them
Right.
and all those
And
types of
that's part
things.
of it
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
is like risk evaluation. Like with Mowgli, it's like the risk is very, very high. Like if these people make a mistake,
Oh, if
like
they have one
the
more close
reason,
call,
yeah,
if they have one close call where they're like, Dylan, like I barely call, I'm gonna be like, bring him to me
it's
like
done.
this morning,
Yep.
like
Yep.
later this morning. It's like we're not doing this anymore. You can't do it. Like we need to have a discussion over whether or not you can keep this dog. Number one, and number two, we're not doing. I refuse to continue in this setup. You just need to give him to me. That's what it would be, right? I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's how abruptly I would say it to them. Like
Yeah,
I'd
no,
just be
and I
like,
mean
"Yep,
that was
this is
basically
it."
my whole point, right? Is like it's just you can't. It's the what I was going to say is it's the reason that you made that tough decision to be like, I'm not going to do extreme cases in private lessons, because you did take a risk with someone who made one single mistake and it got the dog lost. I mean, luckily, happy ending to the story, but
Right, but it's
that,
1 second mistake. One
yep.
second of a
And the
mistake
dog could
from a
have, like,
normal
it could have
person.
been a horrible, horrible outcome. That
Well,
just
imagine how much worse would it be if that dog was out looking for people to attack.
correct, correct. Yes.
It's like so that 1 second leash handling mistake could have
Devastating
a
consequences.
fucking a teenager riding his bike down the street get laid out and lit up. It's like, no, we can't. You can't do that. So yeah. I'm really not doing this like sneaky get a board and train online. Like it'd be easy for me to do that and it would be fun, but it really is going to be there in the event that it does not look safe or they don't feel good about lessons.
And I
Right.
think that's also totally fine. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've started down a certain track of private lessons, or even like when I used to run group classes, right? And it's like you can be a couple hours like sessions in and go, hey, we need to change track. Like something came up
Yeah.
or I'm seeing something that I didn't see. Like this is totally fine to be like, hey, we need to just adjust the training plan. That happens all the time. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean you failed. So it's like if
Yeah,
they
and
need
they're
to open that
they're
parachute of the border train, that is totally fine.
and it can go the opposite direction. I remember that Saint
Yeah.
Bernard Charlie, they were very much like we would send them to you. And with the goals and what was going on with them, I was like, guys, I just don't think it's necessary. Like, obviously, I would love doing that, but it's not about me.
Yep, definitely that conversation
Um,
happens quite a bit where people think their problem is a lot worse than it actually is. And then you see
mhm.
the dog and you're like, hey guys, like I appreciate your dedication, but I think we can save a lot of time and money here by just
It was kind of
a couple
it's
of
kind of like that
things.
with Cotton. It's kind of like that with Cotton, where I'm like, dude, I don't like if you guys were a half hour closer, we would just run privates probably, but they are so afraid of the prospect of an actual dog fight breaking out that,
And
and
that's a good
they're living
example,
with
right? Like
such
we can look at their fear and go, yeah, it's a little irrational. But like
right.
to
It's
them,
not up to us, right?
correct, correct. Like that is going to
And
prevent any progress from
yeah.
being made. It's like, all
And like
right, we're in train.
I was in their home, like I could feel their fear. It was not like a joke. They like, I mean, to us, we were like, I'm looking at these two fucking blockhead like I'm laughing at them, but like to them, they're like seriously like, dude, like I'm worried if I drop a piece of toast on the ground, it's gonna be like a fucking atomic weapon being detonated. Um, so yeah, it's like okay, we'll just pull the trigger, do a board and train. I'm doing an awful job with this dog, and I actually need to start training. But that the client's
And I
emotions
hate to
actually
cope
do
about the
matter.
weather, but like for real, it is so inconvenient. Like so
It's
fucking
brutal,
inconvenient. I hate it so much.
so
Like I
bad,
have this
and
off leash board and train where like dude chases rabbits and doesn't come back. And I'm like, there's not a fucking animal in sight. There's
everything's
10
hiding
people.
again. Yeah,
Anyway, it's fine.
everything's burrowed again.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's I don't even have the excuse like with my dogs. I don't even have the excuse that they can't do the cold. It's both of them don't give a fuck about the cold. Aries is a male, so he'll walk through like anything, and then he's a Pyrenees. He'll sleep in this. But for me, I'm just so cold out there. It's brutal.
No.
Um, I do need to sack up and fucking. I was like, oh, I'll take him out to start. No, I need to go out and like go do a session, maybe get some play, and get him to do some. He can't recall, dude. I had this dog for almost 2 weeks. I can't recall him. Um, so yeah. but certainly the boar bowl is the most interesting thing I got going right now. I could spend every day working with dogs like him. I think I was made for dogs like him for some
Yeah.
reason. Like I don't know what it is. Like there's something about the interactions that are so interesting to me, and getting his respect without a wholesale denial of what he is really interesting. And like not compromising, like getting control over the dog, but not doing it in a way where it just doesn't diminish him. You know what I mean? It's like for me that is so cool.
Yeah, and again, I
And
think
it's
those are the
it's
dogs that have
so
traditionally
good.
been failed by bad dog training, bad balance training,
Right.
forced free train like that. Those are the types of dogs where you can't squash them effectively.
Right.
You can't deter them. Like it's a self reinforcing behavior. You need to use aversive control at some point, but you need
Right.
to use it in a way that doesn't squeeze them so hard into a box that is just going to be impossible for them to stay in. And that, like that, is very, very special to be able to balance, to be able to balance those two things, getting true. And like, that's why I love sport, right? Is like, it is the truest form of expression for the dogs, but also under total control. And
Yeah,
and
that's actually
maintaining, yeah,
that's what I was thinking of comparing it to. It's like the way that you guys get excited about that is the
yes,
closest thing I probably feel.
yeah,
I don't know what it is. It's like even like the hardest I went on him was reinforcing a sit, which was one of the clips in my video, which was cool. I was like, I put it in there because it was good, but then I watched it back. I was like, that's actually a really good example of how the punishment was half of as intense as that reinforcement rep. I went like pop, 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 and it still, by the way, was not hard, but like by comparison and for me, but there's a moment of understanding, and it's in the eyes and it's in the face when you get that moment and you assert yourself. And like the way that these types of dogs look at you with this understanding, it's like it's
yes.
not like a spiteful, I'm waiting for my chance to
No,
get
it's like the
you,
world finally
or
makes sense to me now.
right,
Yeah.
right, right. It's like, why didn't someone say so? Like, you know, um, it's so cool. I also think it's interesting the trajectory, like the training plan just has to change based on the format of the program. Because like if I had this dog, because tomorrow we just have to go for a walk. Um, we have to. Like I need to get them to move. It's also going to be an evaluation for them to see if I do need to take him. I need to get them out on the street moving around with this dog. But like if I had him at a board and train, we would just be playing, dude. We'd be out playing. We'd be out on a long line. I'd be wearing safety stuff for a few days or whatever, and we'd be playing. And um, well, for them, we're gonna have to work up to that a little bit. But hypothetically, if tomorrow goes well, they live 5 minutes away from one of the places that I train at all the time. And another difference, another safety consideration, something I would not normally do if I had the dog, but there's baseball fields. I can have them just go into the fenced in baseball fields with him on a long line and play. Whereas in a board and train, obviously, like I wouldn't necessarily need to do that. That peace of mind for them can get them accustomed to the idea of being outside and being further than 5 feet away from him, which to them is going to be fucking horrifying, dude. They are going to be catatonic at him being like 20 yards away. They're going to lose their minds. And like we have to go through it. But again, I can wear my gear and we can be inside of a fence. And they need to get used to seeing him run and bounce around and reinforce recalls and stuff. Because if you think about it, about like the emotional state and how powerful first impressions and like their only concept of him being away from them outdoors is attacking people. So that's the only experience they have with him being physically separated from them is when they
Is
are
when he's
chasing him and he's
completely out of
chasing someone else.
control.
Yeah. So if you think about the emotional conditioning around that concept, for them it's going to be brutal. Like their hearts are going to be racing. Um so we got to do it the right way. But I sent them the link to an e-collar. I'll bring some toys. Like tomorrow, it's gonna be hard for me to not be like, dude, let's just go to the park and play. But we need to walk. We need to walk. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. See what happens. But now that he knows me and I've given him belly rubs and stuff. When he comes charging out, we're gonna set, and I'll talk to them beforehand about how I want to do it. Maybe we'll do 2 lines. But we're gonna get on him and be like, dude, you can't do this anymore. Like there's clearly no reason anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, you know this guy, you're having a good time. You know what happens when he comes over. We go for a walk. Like, shut up, stop. Be interesting to see how he reacts to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. You would really like this dog.
Yeah.
You'd really like him.
That seems cool.
It's just I feel bad for my boarding chains because I'm out with them and I'm like, what if you were Mowgli? It's just like, I'm gonna take the safety gear off too soon and he's gonna hurt me. I'm just telling you guys now. That's gonna happen. If not tomorrow, the next lesson it'll happen. And he'll bite me on like my hip, like on my side. Where it won't be a bad bite, but it'll hit in the right
hurt.
spot. Yeah.
That hurts the worst.
Yeah, and you get a welt.
Just like a nice little pinch on a fatty spot. It's brutal.
Yep. Yeah. When that Saint Bernard bit me on my butt cheek, it actually like fucking killed, dude. I had a welt on my ass. And it was just front teeth. It was just a little.
Yep.
It was like a fucking.
Yep.
It's just like the right spot. It hurts so bad. Getting bit on the chest didn't actually hurt that bad.
It does if you have tits. Reason.
I've got titties. I've got gorilla titties.
Well, yeah.
No, I do. I can't imagine if you have organs up there. For me, it was more just like a,
yeah,
big scrape. But the ass, the buns, and the hip, like the side,
yep.
Oh, dude, it hurts so bad. What else do I got?
We could wrap it here. Otherwise, we could do like a very quick spiel on teaching dogs to walk on a loose leash, because I feel like that's relatively straightforward to explain if people actually want to hear it. Like, obviously people want you to just show it, which is cool too, but
yeah. I mean, it's I would say I don't like I think obviously you can tell I don't like slogans and shit, because usually they get thrown around by people that are trying to sell you something. But like something that helped me start teaching dogs to walk nice with like a lot less friction. I mean, one part of it is I just do longer programs. Like, I'm not going to bullshit about that. But so like I don't rush it. Like Captain Dipshit's been with me for fucking, like 10 days and he can't walk. But I started thinking about the pet dog heel like a duration exercise. That changed a lot for me. Where you would think of a sit as like a touch release. Or even if you're going by approximation, just a little bit of effort and release if you're needing to do that, because if the dog's really having a hard time. So when I start teaching a dog like Dingaling to walk nice, it will look kind of dumb at the very beginning, because it'll look like I'm like really like I'm verbally and with the leash trying to encourage him to just be at my side for a second. Dude, not like a fleeting glancing half of a second.
Literally even just like lessening the amount that you're pulling in that moment.
Yes.
Can be
yes.
enough.
Yes. Just I was about to sort of go in that direction where it's like, you're even just trying to acknowledge the mental thought.
You are starting to get a little bit
pulling.
Connected to me and taking pressure off the leash, and then I'll let you go do your own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you cash in on these little dumb little moments.
Yep. I think
And
like literally the key is what you said about it being a duration exercise. And then also, how do you release them from a duration exercise? If you're on a 6 foot leash, you can't do like that is
uh
literally the difference is just putting them on the long line and
100%.
have an opportunity to not be fighting with them because that's where people get
I
really,
would,
really
dude. I wish I had like a drone or something because I'm going out to do this. Like I'm gonna charge my phone and we're gonna go out, but we're gonna be out on a 30-foot line, and we'll be alternating between because he can't. I mean, he can't fucking sit. He doesn't know his name. I mean, he's on Pyrenees time. Like it's totally his owners know. Like he's not. He's cool. Like he's awesome. He's just you got to put your hand on his butt to get him or whatever. But we'll be alternating where periodically I'll call him to me, and instead of releasing him, I'll try to grab one of these little reps, say, "Hey, walk," and really patting my leg and talking to him, really trying to make it obvious that like I'm invited, like this is the spot, right? Now, what's nuts is like when you know the dog has acquired it when you do a handful of these little quick reps, you ask for a couple more steps and you pop the leash when they break and they immediately look up for your side. That's when you know they've linked the cue, the reinforcement, and the behavior is creating that chain. And then it's literally just reps at that point. It's like, but getting the dog to understand if I hear that cue and a leash is popped, like I hear the cue, I have a chance, a leash is popped, it means get back to the side. Then it's just
yeah.
everything's
Yeah.
just reps.
I think there are a lot of dogs that, well, this is an interesting thing too, is oftentimes getting the dog, like the whole like this tagline, right? Of like learn how to learn. But it is true where I've had this experience many, many times where like I'll take the dog for a walk and that no or some bullshit. And I'll get a little lazy and just train in my building for a couple of days and I'll do sits and whatever, right? Through negative reinforcement and taking them back out again, the negative reinforcement is so much more effective because they're like, oh, you're trying to tell me something. So
Right.
sometimes it's even like you can break the ice in a different, because there are some dogs that actually the dog I have right now is pretty funny. She has some traits. She's a little bit older. Actually, really nice schnauzer. Like the way she
Do
plays
what?
tug is hilarious. Really nice giant schnauzer. God, I can't say
Oh,
that
cool.
word.
Cool.
Like the way she plays tug is hilarious. But anyway, she has like a reflex. Like I was asking her to get into heel, and she'll get into heel, but it'll be like a little bit crooked. And I kind of like tapped her collar, and she just like lunged forward. And it was like a very like particular way that she would like. I don't quite know how to describe it,
Mm.
but like it was very much like, oh, this is what you truly believe is how you turn off leash pressure is to go harder, right?
Yeah.
And like you'll see that kind of stuff, and it's like, okay, like now I have to work through that. But that made the leash walking a million times easier because she's like, oh, there's another route to escape this pressure instead of just fighting harder. And unfortunately, a lot of pet dogs do have that belief pretty firmly instilled in them is that the way to stop the pressure is to pull harder. So even using the tool of collar pressure elsewhere to show them that there's a different potential response can be super effective to then being like, okay, now I'm going to plug it back in here. I mean, kind of what you were saying earlier, right? About like build the tools in a different environment and then put it into the more difficult environment. And there you go. But
So
yeah,
so you're going, so you've got like the lowest stage is like learning to walk at your side. You go a level above that, it's like learning how to interact with negative reinforcement generally. Then you can go a stage above that where it's like learning to even care what people think. Like knowing that human beings are interactable creatures,
yeah. One of the ways that I
which
describe, like I just sent home actually a couple learning trains over the weekends. It's some weird overlaps, but I was telling one of them, like, I don't really care. It was the Great Pyrenees mix, right? And like he'll get into heel position, but he'll sit like there's like 5 seconds to sit and he like really
Yeah.
got to get into it, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, listen, like if he's not sitting in the heel position when you guys call him, like if I see you a month later and he's not doing it, I don't give a fuck. It's whether or not he bothers to try to respond. Like I want that
Yeah.
social connection. That's what I
Right.
care about. And like they
Right.
immediately got it, but like that he didn't have that before. You know what I mean? And like that's the thing that even what you were talking about earlier, where it's like just getting that acknowledgement of, hey, I'm trying to tell you something, and then I'm going to get you to go back or let you go
Right.
back. Like that's what you have to. What's the word you use? Like really cash in on those moments
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
ultimately the only thing that matters. Like, yeah, it's logistically nice to have a dog that doesn't pull on. The point is that the dog is looking to you and having a piece of its brain open to influence
Right.
from you the entire
The
walk. He's
word
not just
the word
checking
I've
out.
settled on is acknowledgement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that I don't even think that's the best. Like I can't.
It's some
I've
level
thought
of
so hard about it.
attention that is
Attention,
still
but attention can be waiting for a treat. So
yeah, I guess I
this
mean
is
attention in
like
the way like my stupid analogy is like if you're walking with someone and they stop to tie their shoe, like you stop. But like you don't
right,
stop
right,
and like
right.
stare at them. Like you don't have to do
So
anything, but you're just like, oh, we are
awareness.
socially yeah, awareness. Yeah.
So but awareness is even too disconnected. It's too
Yeah, it's like
physical.
between attention and awareness. Yeah.
But I also want a little bit of like a touch of thrill,
Mm.
like interest, like what are we doing? And like
Yeah.
when I'm
I guess
coaching
what
people,
I'm
like either
thinking of is more so like even when the dog is off leash chasing squirrels, there should be some level of connection that is maintained to the handler. Like
yeah,
that's what I mean.
yeah,
Like not necessarily like if
hmm
I give a command, yeah, like there should be a little bit of like woo. Um, like but there's a level of preparedness that the dog is holding on
hmm
to
yeah,
even when they're
yeah.
out
So
of a command. Do you know what I mean?
getting some of that before teaching the dog to walk is
Yeah.
probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it,
And that
if
can
you
happen
think like
super
with the
quickly. That can happen in 5 reps. With Aries, it probably happens in
yeah.
2 reps.
Oh, I mean,
Because he's
he
so
does
ready
everything
for that. Yeah,
himself.
his genetics prepare him
But
for that. Yeah.
what's fucked is though that walking at the side has a obvious bad emotional toll on him for some reason. It's just like, what happened to you, dude?
Interesting.
Like if you call him into heel and start moving his ears pinned back and he starts shrinking to the ground, I'm like, Jesus fuck, dude, what the fuck? Like I just like the more when you get dogs like that where you don't really know the history, like what's been going on, you just over time find more little weird, like sad things. And I'm just like, this is gross. Like why? But anyways, yeah, with like a Pyrenees, it is very beneficial that like I've been able to get him to roughhouse and play a little bit and like dude, even so take the sit, okay? Take the sit like with your dog sitting slowly or like with Dingaling not sitting at all, me standing there popping his leash for whatever. That's a static position. Now imagine we're on the move and like the scent profile's changing and things, and it's way harder than a sit. So you having some baseline awareness before you try teaching the healing is important.
Mhm.
Um,
I think too,
man, it used to
especially
be
for
like,
big dogs where it's like they do they're able to eat corrections a lot more easily. So like if you are like
yeah,
let's say you just use a pinch collar, it's fine. But like let's say for whatever reason you're like, oh, I want to because I think that was specifically part of someone's question is like, how do you do it on a flat collar specifically? And like that's part of it too, is
yeah.
you chip away elsewhere so that there's more responsibility on the
hmm
flat collar because it's gonna be really
Yeah,
difficult to like,
and
get them to care
by
about
the
it.
way
Yeah.
too, the flat collar thing. I've talked about this a little bit before elsewhere, but like the flat collar thing is just like laziness for me, like ease, where like there's just
Yeah,
one less thing I
100%.
have to worry about,
Yeah.
and one less thing for the client to worry about. But it's not like I wouldn't blink before putting a prong collar on this dog. Like if he in a few days is like beating my ass, yeah, I'll put a prong collar on. Like I don't care. And some people I think could justifiably say, then why didn't you just start with it? I totally get it. It's personal preference. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
There's
I do
absolutely nothing
think
wrong with them.
yeah. I do think there's something to be said for getting that to happen on a flat collar. Like Because typically dogs have gone their entire life ignoring that cue, and to actually
Hmm.
change their mind about that specific cue, I think is kind of interesting versus like kind of falling on the falling back isn't even the right term because like it's fine, but there's a little bit of sort of allowing the novelty of the pinch collar to do some of the work for you. And I
Yeah,
think there's
yeah,
value. And like I would make like I would give a pinch collar to clients because like
they need it.
they need all the
Yeah,
help they can get, right? But like
right,
if
right.
you are able to actually change the association with the flat collar, I think that can be very, very like it does force the dog
Yeah,
into a level of cognitive flexibility that's a little bit different. Like you're kind of spinning different dials when
yeah.
you're
You know,
making
and
them work on a flat collar.
it would be very easy for me to just start waxing on about the simplicity and the primal elemental, the flat, like about the flat collar. It's like, dude, I'll be honest with you. I agree with everything you just said. I agree, and I will say this: I do believe training with a flat collar makes you better.
Yes,
Um, like I do, like straight up, I do, and it sort of reminds me of when I started playing guitar. I didn't know what the action of a guitar was, which is the space between the strings and the frets, and I only ever had one guitar. And I played, and then one day I took it into a shop just to get it cleaned, and I wanted to get nice strings. And the guy there was like, "Dude, the action on this thing is fucked." I was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Do you have like, is your left hand like a lobster claw?" So what are you talking about? And he pulled out one of his guitars, and my action was like twice his. So I learned how to play guitar with this brutal pain, and like my hand got really strong having to press like a vice grip. Um, the prong, the flat collar, it doesn't do that in that you have to pop harder. It's actually not like in some cases, but you learn more, I think, about the subtle nature of using a leash.
correct. Pressure and
But
release,
I
basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you
But
can
I will
feel it
say,
more.
I will, oh, for sure. I will say though, so like I don't regret having it as my foundation. I just don't want
Yes.
it to sound like you have to do that or there's something wrong with using prong collars. It's not. I'm sick. I'm fucking, like, you know how I feel. Balance trainer should be like 10 toes down. Do we use prong collars? Get
Yes.
fucked. I don't
Yes.
care.
It's
This
just
is
it's
coming
a
from someone that doesn't
different
use them.
yes.
I don't
Yeah.
use them very often, and I'm saying you should be like that. Like it's anything less is being a coward. But I will tell you this much. I will tell you this much. Popping the leash with Mowgli with the prong collar yesterday, I was like, holy shit, I could just do anything I wanted right now. Like I feel like I'm Super Saiyan right now. Like it's
Yeah.
just like I go, Mowgli, sit, pop, 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 and he's like, huh. I'm like, whoa, this is 150, 60 pound dog, and I just like with my hand, it's just total control.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
So it
point,
is it
right? Like,
is
that's why they
nice,
are effective.
right?
And again, like, for that
Yeah.
client who's getting
The
dragged in,
client, oh my
1000%,
god.
1000%. I
If
think,
you
like, it's an
I'll put it this
interesting
way,
pathway to go down as a dog trainer to be like, hey, I want to sort of purposely handicap myself in order to get better. Like, I think that can be a very interesting pathway to go down.
just don't do anything that will actually make your result worse for your
Well,
client.
yes. Yes. Yeah.
Play around with it, but don't hamstring yourself trying to be old fashioned and be like, oh well,
Yeah. Yeah.
like don't. It would be, again, like it would be easy for me to be like, I don't need that stuff, but that's just stupid. It's just a dumb. It's just not accurate. It doesn't logically make any sense.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, the prong collar. I will say again, like if you are against aversives, I think you are a bad person.
Yeah.
Like this is an example of this because like if Mowgli's family is looking for help and they end up with uh you know uh, Karen Pryor Academy graduate as their trainer, that trainer is going to have Mowgli on a harness, dude. And that would be what I would do if I was trying to maximize the threat. If I was trying to get the client hurt, that's what I would do. I would send them out with food and a harness. So you're a bad person. You're a bad person. So we're not going to do that. We're going to have a prong collar and an electric collar on him. And there's going to be a time where when he even just violates a heel command that we teach him, he's going to get tapped on a high level. It's going to be
Yes.
like high stakes just for basic obedience. That's another thing too. That's another thing too. Um, Marissa Barbado will tell you, shout out. She's the one that took Remy and then broke her ankle. She's getting Remy back soon. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she brought. Yeah. Um,
Sad. I should laugh, but
but
it's
she
just like
no
really a comedy
Remy's
of
with a friend of Marissa that's very good that I've worked with. That's fantastic, and Remy's doing awesome. Like I love seeing the videos of them running. She's with her pack out in the woods. It's cool. But uh, Marissa saw firsthand, like anybody that sees me with my board and trains, I'm very like, I don't want to say like permissive dad. Like I kind of let them do dumb shit and like get away with things, and like I'm slow to, like I just am like that. But when the dog is with the client and the training is happening while he stays in the client's home, dude, it's going to be like inch by inch, like especially when the stakes are high and the dog's aggressive. It's gonna be like, dude, if you step out of heel, you're getting tapped on like a fucking 40. Like there's no, it's not a fucking thing.
again, there's
We're
something to
not
be
gonna
said of
start
like the
like
dog
that, but
needs to know that the owner can deliver meaningful consequences. That's a mindset shift.
oh yeah,
They
yeah,
the dog does
and
not believe that the owner can do anything effective. Yeah.
they're gonna be announcing it with some intent. Hey, tap. It's gonna be, and then when it comes to punish things, it's gonna be like, dude, like let him know you are not happy. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not going to be a like for me, it's like, oh, with this dog blowing up at dogs, it's like let's just like have fun seeing what happens and let it go like 10 times and just see. No, it's gonna be like first one. Like we did that with me. Right? Got an idea what's going on. We let him see the other side. Now it's gonna be like, no, you cannot do that. Because I can't they can't run an extinction approach with a dog that's bigger and stronger than them when they're paying a trainer to make this be safe. So the way that you make that safe is you punish the dog, by the way, for anybody that is confused on that. Um, so that may even like we'll do this lesson tomorrow and then we'll add the electric collar on for next time, like right away. It's just
Yeah. And
how
I do
and I'm
have to
sure
run, but
everyone
yeah, go
please,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say people are gonna want to know how we introduce it, and it's just like how do we train the dog? Like we'll talk about it when it happens, but
Yeah.
whatever.
As I say, so don't let me forget another interesting topic that I forgot about until just now was what can you get away with client dogs that you don't the owners to do. And like the sloppiness kind of reminded me, right? Is like we can be
Yeah,
selectively sloppy because we know like what's okay and
yeah.
what's not, but owners cannot be.
Please remember that. Please
So
remember
yeah,
that for next
let's
time,
remember
okay?
that
Because
topic.
I'll
Yeah.
think about it a lot because it's because it's something I've
And it's
never really
very
thought about like that.
yeah. Yeah, I think someone asked that in your Q&A. So the audience member
Yeah,
that
shut up. I
it's
think it was
ideas. So
Luke. His last name's like Bickersniff or something. He made up like that.
Luke Biscuit.
Uh, like it's no, it's like a Hogwarts name. It's like
Yeah,
Bicker,
yeah, it's like a Luke,
Bicker.
like Baronkoff or something that like, and it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
just like Luke Biscuit in high school, as nobody could pronounce his weird ass last name. But anyway,
I talked to a guy on the phone the other night named Kaiser Herrera. I was like, yeah, I won't keep you too long, man. I know you're busy battling Lex Luthor and Metallo and all of the other villains in Metropolis. Like that's a fucking comic book name, Kaiser
that is
Herrera.
so
I was like, what the
true.
like that's crazy. He's cool.
Oh
And
my
he's got a
god,
really out of control German whatever.
nice.
Maybe I'll get to work with them hopefully. But yeah, peace out. I'm gonna go out with my baby
Yeah, yeah,
and see if I can get him to come when called.
yeah. Sweet. Well,
With the
good luck
with the
with that.
with the boss unit 1200 electric collar, which I haven't had to use in literal years.
Oh god.
All right.
All right. Catch you guys later.